Hey guys, George at SoundTraxx here, and I hope all of you are staying safe and sane and getting a lot of model railroading done during all the things that we're going through in our world right now. So we're really excited to be able to bring you a brand new product that you'll be able to use. Now let's go ahead and get this decoder started so you can hear what it sounds like. So of course you hear that familiar 567 and you're seeing a GE locomotive in front of you. So of course, what does that mean? That means I've got a really great secret and a surprise for you guys. So for all of you N-Scalers out there that have been asking for SoundTraxx to build a drop-in decoder, I introduce to you the TSU-KN1. As you can see now, we have a locomotive drop-in decoder for N-Scale. So we are very excited to be able to offer this feature and to offer SoundTraxx Tsunami2 in a better format to help you N-Scalers enjoy Model Railroader's Reader's Choice Award winner for Favorite Sound Decoder 2 years in a row. So first off, let's take a look at the decoder. Now we're going to give you the TSU-KN1 Decoder. Now this will be a drop-in decoder that's good for all of the Kato wide body models. That includes the F unit that you're seeing here in front of me, the EMD E series units, so all of the Kato E units that they offer, the EMD F40PH, as well as an Alco PA1, and the GE P42. Now all of those respective prime movers are going to be preloaded into this decoder, so that way all you have to do is select a CV and you'll be able to match the prime mover to the locomotive model that you've installed it into. Now this KN1 is designed as a quick drop-in, and you're going to get all of the Tsunami2 features, including 44 different air horns, 50 different bells to choose from, and different air compressors to sound, as well as other choices to make your decoder match more closely to the model you've installed it into. Now in this package, not only will you get the KN1 drop-in decoder Tsunami2, but we're going to give you two LEDs, and these are 3mm LEDs, and they're not soldered to the board because each of those different locomotives have the LEDs soldered at different lengths off of the ends of the board. So this way you can match your model more closely and be able to do this in a single compact package for all of you guys. Now also we're going to give you a very small speaker. Now I will tell you, this is going to be a great addition to the SoundTraxx product line because as you can see here, this speaker is extremely small by comparison. This is about a third of the size of our small Minicube 2. So we will be adding these to our product line soon, but as for now they will be coming with the KN1. And you can imagine how much sound would come out of this, but it's amazing. This is stock volume out of this model. We're going to back it up here a little bit and let you hear that prime mover sound. It's got an amazing amount of bass for a speaker that size, so we are very excited about this speaker find. And we'll bring the model to a stop. We'll be including a small piece of wire and other materials that you may need to install the decoder into your model. Now, as I mentioned, this has all of the Tsunami2 features built into it, including the sound selections. Now, one of the really great features you're going to see is our refined Hyperdrive 2 motor control. You can see how slow this model is moving at speed step 1. And then when I enable switching mode, which takes our commanded speed step and cuts it into 1/2, you're actually going to see it slow down even slower. Look at how fine that motor is moving. Now, one of the other features that you get now with the Tsunami2 in this drop-in model for N-Scale is our reactive dynamic digital exhaust. And what this does is this feature reads the load on the motor and will adjust the notching accordingly, so that way you get an interactive, dynamically changing prime mover sound as your locomotive traverses the layout. So we're going to go ahead Put some resistance on here, and you can hear that locomotive prime mover notching up. And then when I release, you can hear that prime mover drop back down. So it's reading the load on the motor. Now this is calibrated to the motor of the locomotive. So following the process outlined on our YouTube channel, you'll be able to set this up really quickly and easily in your N-Scale model. Now some of the other features that our Tsunami2 has been known for is our braking and momentum features. Now of course, momentum is not something new. It helps add inertia and makes the locomotive seem like it's running a heavy load. So we're going to go ahead and run here in reverse. I'm going to jump up to speed step 10. And you can see that it doesn't immediately jump. Now without ever touching the throttle, I'm going to apply the brakes. And you can see that the brakes are applied. Now this is the sound of the independent brake, which are the sounds of the brakes that are actually on the locomotive, which as its name implies are used when the locomotive is independent or running light, or when you're switching back and forth in a yard. Now we also have the sound of the train brake, and the train brake, you take F12 and turn it on and it will change the braking mode. The train brake distributes the braking effort through all of the cars on your locomotive, and of course the locomotive braking sounds change. So we're going to go ahead and do that now, and when we hit F12, you're going to hear the prime mover notch up as it works to charge the train line. Now you'll hear that compressor cycle and run for about 30 seconds. Now in the real world it takes about 10 to 15 minutes to actually charge the train line. But now when we start to move forward, we're going to go ahead and move forward speed step 10. We're going to release the brakes. And now when I hit the brake application, the F11, you're going to hear the different sound. And you're actually going to see the locomotive come to a stop. Now this is going to be at a slower rate than the independent brake was. So each of these braking rates are independently adjusted. Now of course with the Tsunami2, you're going to get our very, very popular 7-band equalizer, just like you have in your home stereo system. So when you enable the equalizer, you're able to boost the speaker's strengths and minimize its weaknesses. But also you're able to boost some of those low frequencies. Now this speaker actually, as I mentioned, has an amazing bass response for a speaker that small. So I've already preset a 7-band equalizer curve into the decoder. So now all I'm going to do is enable it, and you're going to hear that change in the prime mover sound when I enable this. And you can kind of hear how that mid-low range is really boosted in. And now, of course, we have our air horn and our bell. And all of those sounds are affected, but you really get that low end. So now let's go ahead and take a run. We'll release our brakes. Listen to that low end. That's amazing coming out of that model. We're really excited about this. We'll bring it to a stop. We'll set our brakes. Now with Tsunami2, every sound effect has its own volume control, and that is not just the horn, the bell, and the prime mover, but the air compressor, all of the different sounds, including the dynamic braking, the independent braking, the automatic brake application, even sounds all the way down to Fireman Ed's toilet flush. Now with the Tsunami2, you do get 16 independent sound channels. That means the decoder can play up to 16 sounds all at the same time. This way, you don't have to have certain sounds override or get shut down so other sounds can play. For example, the air compressor is always going to play just like it would in the real world, even though you're blowing your horn or ringing your bell. So you don't have to worry about that. Now remember, SoundTraxx has been in the business for over 30 years now, and we are really excited to be the leaders in the industry and be able to bring this out. So guys, be sure to stay tuned. If you're not subscribed to our newsletter, subscribe to our newsletter at SoundTraxx.com, and be sure to be signed up so that way you get notified when we have our new formats coming down the line. We're working for you guys, so we are excited to be able to introduce this and more coming for N-Scale. So guys, we are very happy about this. And then for you HO guys, don't worry, we haven't forgotten you. We've got some other stuff coming up. So stay tuned, and we hope to hear and see from you guys soon. Thank you very much, and again, we hope everybody stays safe and sane, and let's go have fun and play with trains.